92.5 ABC Central Coast. Coming up, a very interesting lady who's had a great journey of self-discovery. Coming up in just a moment, reviewing her book. If you've ever had to battle the bulge, you'll know just how tough it can be. I've got my hand up here. Changing our habits and routines and believing in ourselves can be the most difficult thing we can do. But local woman Sandy Bröcking did just that. She wrote a book about her experience to help motivate others. Thin reporter Caroline Perryman caught up with Sandy yesterday and started by asking her about her early life growing up in Germany as an obese child.
Pretty difficult, I say. Well, as I always say, I still think I was the fattest baby ever born in my hometown. It's very true. And for many years, I had a very, very difficult life there. Like most people, you get looked at. I had bad school reports even from being overweight.
In what way?
Teachers didn't accept me as full. Also, my school colleagues didn't accept me as full. It's what you do when you're overweight, you're shy. That's at least I was. And you feel people looking at you. You feel the looks behind you. And I was also very embarrassed as well when it comes to swimming lessons, when it comes to sport. And at some point, I really felt how bad it is when it came to running. I felt like I was huffing and puffing like an old steam train. And I think many people experience this just like me. I did. And that actually made the difference. That made me think, well, I've got to do something about it and I've got to change. And that's what I did. And that's what I wrote Think Smart and Lose Weight about.
We will get into that later. How did that experience as a child shape your adult life?
I'm much more aware, I think. I do understand the difficulties overweight people have. I also try to really help because I know the problems behind it. And I know how probably most people who are overweight feel because I've been there and I know exactly what it is. And I really, really want to help these people. I want to help them getting out of this.
So at what point did you actually realise you had to do something yourself about it?
Yeah, exactly. At the point when I was, really struggling with exercise, with walking, with running.
What age were you?
17, 18, something like that, when it got really bad. And I thought, I don't really want to do this anymore. And it was the right thing to do because I feel so much better.
Why were you so overweight as a child? When you look back, you lived in Germany and all the beautiful pastries and the food that the Europeans have. But why? But not everyone over there is obviously obese. Why do you think you particularly had the problem?
I think, as I said, I think I was the fattest baby ever born in my hometown. But it's a typical thing. Once you're overweight, you tend to keep this weight on. And also, I'm from a family who is very much overweight. So for those poor kids, I think there's a lot of them out there as well, who get born in these families. They are already born overweight. They get raised with the food.
You ate more, do you think, because the food was in the household, the wrong types of food were there available? Is that what contributed to it?
Yes, very much. And it's actually food that most people eat that quite often makes us overweight. I think there's always a little bit of genetic background there. Once you are, genetically background led to be easily overweight, same food that other people can eat probably can make you overweight very easily. But it's about the knowledge to do that, to handle it. Because for me, years and years ago, I thought I only need to look at chocolate to gain weight, but not anymore because, it's not the genetic thing. You can do it, you can achieve it, and it's not difficult at all.
Look at you now. You'd be lucky to be a size 10. When you were at your biggest, what size were you?
I don't even remember. Such a long time ago.
Double the size?
Oh, at least, yeah. I lost more than 20 kilos, about 25 around something like that. But the important thing is I lost it such a long time ago and I don't have any problems anymore. So it is easy to succeed, to lose weight for good. And this is what I want to say. Well, it is possible and it is simple possible. And we don't need complicated diet regimes or anything. Common sense and, logic simping and the right knowledge, and very important here is the right knowledge, can be very important.
We're speaking with Sandy Bröcking, who's an author of a new book, which we'll talk about in a moment. We're just hearing about Sandy's life growing up as an obese child in Germany and how she turned her life around. What was it in particular, Sandy, that turned you from being an obese child into an adult of normal size and health? What do you think was the main thing? I mean, you obviously came to a point where you decided this is what I'm going to do. But it's one thing to decide. It's another thing to go to the next step and actually succeed. How did you do that?
Yeah, I was very embarrassed. That was the biggest problem I had.
And as a teenager, you were, 17, 18, you said. So
Exactly.
Self-conscious as a girl.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's so true. At some point, you just don't feel right anymore. And of course, my lack of being able to do what I want to do, the lack of being able to exercise, to enjoy my life the way it's supposed to be. Like when you're overweight, you have problems. Some people don't even think about it, what they can do, because we forget what we can do. But
what was the biggest thing that you missed?
And I wanted to do horse riding. That was a big point as well. And I thought, well, I'm too overweight. I can't sit on a horse like this. Poor horse, you can't do that. So that was one of the main issues as well. And I said, well, I really want to do this and I really want to enjoy my life to the most. And that's what I did.
Okay, so how?
How? I always say, well, exercising is a main thing. If you want to lose some weight, you got to do some exercise.
So what was the first thing that you did?
The first thing I did was, I started running. And well, for everybody else, it was not very easy in the very beginning. I started simple, and that's what everybody should do. Just start simple, a few rounds round the block. But
so
then,
set yourself short-term goals, like run from here to the end of the street.
Exactly, but do it every day. That's what I did. I did it every day, and every day I increased a little bit. And well, that's worked fantastically for me. And then I thought about what I eat. And well, there's a lot we can learn about our food.
Now, you were still living at home, and I understand your mum has a weight problem. How did you control what you ate then, if what was coming into the house wasn't the food that you wanted to eat?
Yeah, very interesting. It took me, of course, a long time to find out everything that is in the book I wrote, because, I had to experience everything myself. I had to learn everything myself. So it didn't happen from today to the next day. So I learned all these little things and had my own experiences. And a lot of, motivation. I think motivation is one of the biggest things, and I'm motivated myself with my goal in view. And that
did you write anything on your fridge or in your bedroom to help with motivation? Because I'm sure if people are listening out there who've had weight problems, well, it's all right to say, yes, I want to do that, but they don't have the motivation. What did you help motivate you?
I think people can do that. That's always a good thing, motivation, to write things on your fridge or put pictures on your fridge. Or I believe in those things, that they work. Everyone can do that. But I'm personal. Once I've got something in my head, I keep it in my head. So it works very well. And it's about achieving a goal. It's about, like, if you say, well, I want to achieve that, just go for it. Don't look left or right. That's what I did. I didn't look at my family, what my family did. I just thought, well, I do this for myself. And a good tip is, don't, tell many people, don't say, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. It doesn't really work all the time. Sometimes it's just, being yourself and focus on yourself and just keep going and forget about what everybody else says.
So that would have taken quite a while to get down to the optimum weight that you wanted to be. So were you, did you record your weight loss? Were you really strict about following how you were going, and did that keep you motivated?
No, not at all, actually. It's for me, it's what worked for me. I did that, of course. I did, diet programs and diet plans and things like that, and they never worked for me. With the goal setting, writing down the kilograms you lose, never really worked for me. And there's a reason for that our body somehow doesn't accept when we write down we lose some sort of kilos. Our bodies They're quite smart actually, and they believe that this is a loss. So they get quite cautious about this. So never write down anything that you want to lose weight, because it's a negative thing for your body and for your mind. So be positive. Say, well, I'm gonna be like whatever kilos in the future, that and that date. That works much better. And for myself, I just focused on what I wanted to do, and I wanted to achieve that body weight that I wanted at the time. And I didn't write down any kilos I lost. I just kept following this goal until I reach it.
You are going to be passing on your knowledge of your journey in life. Tell us about that, Sandy.
I'm really looking forward to that. I'm a nurse, so I've got a professional background. At the same time, I'm a very practical person. And so there will be lots of, tips and information for people to take home on the day. And
because of course, being overweight is not great for your long-term health. But what benefits did you find immediately once you'd lost the weight as far as health was concerned?
Immediately, much more energy. It feels so much better. And I can only tell everybody who is overweight, please give yourself this gift, lose weight. Even a few kilos can help a lot. And you feel so much more energy. You can actually do many more things. As I said earlier, sometimes we simply forget what we could do. And when we're overweight, we don't do them anymore because we can't do them. But it's a great achievement to be able to run, to be able to enjoy life to the most, the way we should do.
But a great message to pass on to other people who might be in the same predicament you were, or parents of children who might be struggling with weight and ways to help them.
Everybody come along, and it's going to be a great talk. Any questions are welcomed.
Fantastic. All right, Sandy, well, good luck with it. It's called Think Smart and Lose Weight, and Sandy Bröcking is our guest. Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you very much.
Local author Sandy Bröcking speaking with Caroline Perryman there.